Picture this. You're wrestling with your suitcase, sitting on it, pleading with the travel gods for it to zip up. Sound familiar? We've all been there, overstuffing our bags with just-in-case outfits, only to realize that we've packed enough to clothe a small village. Overpacking is a common travel mistake, but it's one that's easy to avoid. The trick is to pack only what you need. That third pair of shoes? Leave them. That bulky hairdryer? Hotels usually provide them. Packing light means having a smaller, more manageable suitcase. It can save you time at the airport, prevent you from paying those pesky overweight luggage fees, and save you the stress of lugging around a heavy suitcase. Imagine breezing through the airport with a carry-on, skipping the long wait at the baggage carousel, and avoiding the panic of lost luggage. Sounds dreamy, right? And let's not forget the freedom that comes with having less. Less to keep track of, less to worry about, and more room for those unique souvenirs you might find along the way. So next time you're preparing for a trip, remember this golden rule. Pack, then remove half. You'll likely still have more than you need. In the world of travel, less really is more. It's about making the journey easier so you can focus on the adventure that awaits. Remember, when it comes to packing for a trip, less is often more. Ever thought, what's the worst that could happen? And then it did? That's where travel insurance comes in. Imagine this. You're on the trip of a lifetime, but suddenly you're struck with a severe illness or injury. Without travel insurance, you could be looking at astronomical medical bills, not to mention the cost of emergency transport home. Or perhaps you've meticulously planned and saved for a dream vacation, only to have it canceled last minute due to unforeseen circumstances. Without insurance, those hard-earned savings could evaporate in an instant. And then there's the hassle of lost or damaged luggage. The inconvenience, stress, and cost of replacing your belongings can put a significant damper on your trip. But with travel insurance, you can rest easy, knowing you're covered. So, before you embark on your next adventure, remember this. Travel insurance isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Don't gamble with your well-being, get insured. Imagine being in a foreign country with a blocked credit card. Nightmare, right? Now, let's dive into why it's crucial to inform your bank about your travel plans. You see, banks have systems in place to detect unusual activity as a way to protect you from fraud. So if you suddenly start making purchases in a different country, your bank might flag this as suspicious activity and block your card. It's not a great feeling to be standing at a restaurant or a hotel front desk, only to have your card declined. It can be even more stressful if you're in a different time zone and can't immediately contact your bank to sort out the issue. The good news? This is easily avoidable. Before you jet off, take a few minutes to notify your bank about your travel plans. You can usually do this online or through your bank's mobile app. This simple step can save you from a lot of stress and inconvenience. A quick call to your bank can save you from a financial fiasco. Running through an airport isn't fun, especially if you miss your connecting flight. We've all seen those frantic travelers sprinting through terminals, heart-pounding, praying they'll make it to the gate in time. It's a high-stakes race against the clock that doesn't always end well. This race is often self-imposed. When booking flights, the lure of a shorter layover can be tempting. After all, who wants to spend hours in an airport? But here's the thing. Tight connections are a gamble. Delays happen, gates change, airports can be confusing labyrinths. So instead of setting yourself up for a mad dash, why not allow a bit more time between flights? An extra hour or two can be a game changer. It can mean the difference between a stressful scramble and a leisurely stroll to your gate. So when planning your next trip, remember, give yourself some breathing room when scheduling flights. Imagine being turned away at the airport because you didn't have the right visa. A scenario no one wishes to experience, yet it's more common than you might think. Now, let's delve into the importance of checking visa requirements before setting your foot on foreign soil. The world of visas is a complex labyrinth, with rules varying widely from country to country. Some places may grant you a visa on arrival, others might require a lengthy application process months ahead. The worst mistake? Assuming you know the rules without double-checking. Take the time to visit the embassy or consulate website of your destination country. You'll find the most accurate and up-to-date information there. And remember, visa rules can change frequently, so what was true last year might not hold today. Equally important is understanding the specifics of your visa type. Tourist, business, transit. Each has its own set of rules and restrictions. Don't let visa mishaps ruin your travel plans. Be informed, be prepared, and ensure a hassle-free journey. Ever accidentally offended someone in a foreign country and didn't understand why? One common travel mistake is not researching local customs and traditions. This can lead to unintentional disrespect or even breaking the law. Imagine you're in Japan, and you stick your chopsticks upright in a bowl of rice, unaware that this is a funeral tradition. Or you're in India, and you try to shake hands with your left hand, not knowing it's considered impure. These are just examples, but they illustrate how easy it can be to offend local people without even realizing it. Understanding local customs isn't just about avoiding faux pas. It's about showing respect for the culture you're visiting. It's about embracing the local way of life and enriching your travel experience. Doing a little homework before you pack your bags can save you a lot of embarrassment and misunderstanding. It can also open doors to deeper connections with the locals and more authentic experiences. Knowledge is power, especially when you're in a new place. Stuck in a place where no one accepts credit cards? Yikes. Imagine this. You're in a bustling market in Marrakesh or a quaint cafe in rural France. You've just finished a delicious meal or found the perfect souvenir, and as you whip out your credit card to pay, you're met with a polite but firm, "Cash only, please." While credit cards offer convenience and security, not every place is equipped to accept them. From small towns to remote destinations, cash is still the primary mode of transaction. Plus, in some countries, cash transactions can give you better bargaining power or even discounts. Moreover, relying solely on credit cards can leave you vulnerable to blocked transactions, card theft, or even a drained account due to unexpected international fees. Not to mention, it's always handy to have some local currency for tipping or emergencies. So, remember to diversify your payment methods when traveling. Have a mix of credit cards, debit cards, and local currency. Cash is king, don't forget it. Ever tried to squeeze too many activities into one day and ended up exhausted? That's the pitfall of overplanning. It's like trying to read every page of a novel in one sitting. Sure, you'll finish the book, but will you enjoy it? Overplanning can lead you to rush from one tourist spot to another, leaving you no time to soak in the vibe of the place, the culture, the people. It's like visiting a museum and running past all the exhibits to say you've seen them all. But travel isn't a race, it's an experience. Instead, leave room for spontaneity. Let the city surprise you. Wander through the local markets, strike up conversations with locals, try that street food that wasn't on your list. These unplanned adventures often turn out to be the most memorable parts of a trip. Remember, travel is not about ticking off a checklist. It's about creating memories and experiencing new things. Travel is about exploring, not exhausting yourself. Safety first, isn't that what they always say? And it couldn't be more true, especially when traveling. It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of new places and forget about the need to stay safe. Firstly, let's talk about your belongings. It's crucial to keep an eye on your personal items at all times. That doesn't mean you need to clutch your bag like a lifeline, but be aware of where it is and who's around it. It's also smart to divide your money and cards among different bags or pockets. If one gets lost or stolen, you're not left with nothing. Secondly, being aware of your surroundings is key. Familiarize yourself with the area you're in. Know where the nearest police station or embassy is. Stay in well-lit areas, especially at night. Avoid secluded areas or places that make you feel uncomfortable. Traveling is an adventure, but it's also a responsibility. You need to look after yourself and your belongings. Stay vigilant. Stay safe. Ever had your phone die in the middle of navigating an unfamiliar city? It's a common travel hiccup, and it's a glaring example of how our over-reliance on technology can sometimes leave us in a bind. We're all for leveraging the power of tech to enhance our travels, but there's a delicate balance to strike. Consider this. Smartphones and tablets are wonderful tools for translating foreign languages, booking last-minute accommodations, or even finding the best local eats. But what happens when the battery dies or the Wi-Fi signal is weak? Suddenly the digital crutches we lean on so heavily disappear. This is where traditional navigation and communication methods can save the day. A simple paper map, for instance, never runs out of battery, and learning a few key phrases in the local language can go a long way when technology fails us. So while technology is undoubtedly a boon for modern travelers, it's crucial to remember it's not infallible. Sometimes going old school can save your day. Ever paid a fortune for a unique experience that turned out to be a total ripoff? Now that's a question many travelers might find all too familiar. We've all been there, lured by the promise of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, only to end up knee-deep in a tourist trap. Whether it's the authentic souvenir shop selling mass-produced trinkets, or the exclusive tours that lead you to overcrowded attractions, these traps often lack the genuine local flavor and can leave us feeling a bit cheated. What's more, they can be a real drain on your travel budget. So how do we avoid them? Simple. Do your homework. Research beforehand about the common tourist traps in your destination. Read reviews, check out local blogs, and ask locals for their recommendations. Remember, the real charm of travel lies in immersing yourself in the local culture, tasting the local cuisine, and experiencing the everyday life of the people. Don't fall for the glitter, seek authenticity. Ever been so caught up in capturing the perfect photo that you forgot to enjoy the moment? It's a common scene in our hyper-digital age. We're all guilty of it. Standing on a breathtaking mountaintop or in front of a majestic monument, our first instinct is to reach for our phones. Snap, filter, upload, repeat. But is that really why we travel? Travel is about immersing ourselves in new experiences, tasting exotic flavors, hearing unfamiliar languages, and feeling the rhythm of a place in our bones. It's about the thrill of the unexpected and the joy of the unexplored. It's about the stories we'll later recount with a twinkle in our eyes and a warmth in our hearts. Now, don't get me wrong. Photos are beautiful reminders of the places we've been and the experiences we've had. They're a way of sharing our journeys with others and preserving our memories for years to come. But the reality is, these moments are fleeting. They're here, and then they're gone. And the irony is, in our quest to preserve them, we often miss them entirely. Instead, let's try to find a balance. Let's snap that photo, sure. But then let's put our phones away. Let's breathe in the sea air, feel the cobblestones beneath our feet, and let the colors of the sunset wash over us. Travel is about making memories, not just taking pictures. So, there you have it. 12 common travel mistakes and how to avoid them. We've dissected the pitfalls of overpacking and the importance of not ignoring travel insurance. We've discussed the critical step of informing your bank before departure, the risks of tight connecting flights, and the necessity of checking visa requirements. We've highlighted the value of researching local customs, the dangers of relying solely on credit cards, and the potential downside of overplanning your trip. We've also covered the importance of not ignoring safety precautions, the perils of relying too much on technology, the traps of tourist hotspots, and the importance of not forgetting to enjoy the moments. Each of these points, when handled with care, can lead to a smoother, more enjoyable travel experience. Remember, the world is yours to explore. Travel smart and enjoy every moment.